Good morning, gang. Good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome back to this week's Bitcoin update on a day that we don't normally do an update. First and foremost, remember, nothing discussed today is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just purely for educational purposes only, and it's my view of the markets, okay? Now we've got that covered. Bitcoin, okay, and the wider market, okay? We're experiencing a bit of a sell-off. And people are panicking. We've had a hell of a lot of liquidations going on, and people are wondering, what's going to happen next. And quite frankly, nobody knows what's going to happen next. Okay, I just want to make that really clear. Okay, I harped on about this on Twitter this morning. Anyone that speaks in absolutes, anyone that speaks in facts, okay, just like all the crazy Twitter kids and YouTube kids that were saying, oh, it's a bull flag, 100% it's going up. Once Bitcoin breaks this high, we're going straight to 100k. It's the same idiots that told people to buy up here. It's the same idiots that told people to buy up here. It's the same idiots that told people to buy up here. It happens every single time. Okay? Anyone that speaks in absolutes, you really need to stop following them because there's no absolutes. Okay? Price can go up, price can go down, price can go sideways. They are the only absolutes we know. But do we know which one is going to happen? No, we don't. Okay? You guys know that I had a count, an Elliott Wave count, that saw a macro top here. Okay? It's pinned on my Twitter page. I also have a count that says this is a local top, this is a pullback, and then we're going to go up again after this. Because I have a plan for both directions. I've always got a plan for both directions because I'm a trader. And this is one thing what happens when you're a trader and you're not just blinded by a narrative is you have a plan. You have a plan. I hold spot from low. I also hold a couple of leverage trades from here and here, still in longs, potentially looking to add back into them. I also hold swing short from this pivot, and obviously you guys know because I talked about it last week, I hold one from this pivot, although my average entry is actually down here now because I compounded that trade. Okay, I don't care if we go that way or if we go that way. It makes no difference to me. All I need to know is where on this chart do I want to do business? And if price comes into that area, do I see my setup criteria? They are the only two questions that you need to know as a trader. Anything else, it makes no difference to me. And if I don't get those two key criteria, does it come into my area of interest? And does it give me a setup? If I don't get those two things, there's no trade. Simple. Okay. So, let's quickly discuss. Obviously, I've been harping on about this same range for 5 months. Same range. Okay. There's the lows, there's the highs, there's the lows, little deviation. Came up. Obviously, we know we had value area high up here. That's obviously what caused the sell-off. Back down to range lows. Another deviation, another stop run of these lows. Came up into EQ / value area high. Once again, I'll just throw that on there so you can see. Into value area high. And we sold off. We had no reaction at value area low. Came back through. No reaction at range low. We had a bit of a reaction last night, which was the only long trade I've taken in a while. But then we came back up into range low and sold off. So if we look at this on a lower term time frame, we can see this. Okay. We had a nice reaction here, which was effectively the only major volume level that we had. We had a nice reaction here, came back up into range low, couldn't hold on to it, deviated into it, came back out, retested it, and then we've continued to sell off. Okay. And then obviously that's where we are right now today. So, am I closing any of my short trades? I'm taking profits on them as we drop. Am I closing my long trades? I've been taking profits on them all the way up. Okay. Potentially looking for an opportunity to add back in if I'm given a setup. Okay. So where would that be? So that's what we need to discuss now. So if we zoom out and we look at the daily chart here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a volume profile from the absolute low, from the 15k lows to where we are right now. So this is taking into account everything from 15k to where we are right now. This is what we need to look at. Okay. What I'm interested in, and I don't care about ICT order blocks, fair value gaps. I don't care about Elliott Wave and everything else. And to be fair, I trade Elliott Wave. what I'm caring about is where's the volume. This is what I'm interested in, okay? From volume, I can paint a bigger picture. So where's the volume? So obviously we were talking about this zone here, 53k down to these lows here, down at 50k, okay? There was a decent amount of volume here, okay? Now I said this about 2 weeks ago to the public and also to the members, is the fact that I was cautious about this level. From a volume perspective, it's a strong level. It's a strong level, but I was cautious. And the reason why I was cautious is because every man and his dog, including the LARPs out there that haven't got a clue how to trade, all were talking about this level. I'm always cautious when everyone is talking about the same level. Because there's two options what happens then. There's two options. We either front run it, or we go straight through it. And to be fair, in this instance, we got both. We front run it. We didn't come back into the actual volume itself. We front run it. We got a bounce. Next time we come down to it, we went straight through it. All we've done is just run a shitload of stops underneath here. Okay, and now we've got a bounce. So what happens next? Okay, what happens next? So first and foremost, let's discuss this range here. So right now we are in a range. We've just joined back in to an old range. That's all we've done. Okay. We've joined back into an old range. And you can see here, look, those range highs currently acting as resistance. Okay. So, from a short-term perspective, a day trader's perspective, if we continue to range within here, now bear in mind what I would do based on this wick down here is I'd actually drag this to cover, if I can zoom out a little bit, this wick lower now, because this is now important. This is significant. Now, obviously, this will be different on every single exchange. Okay, so we can zoom back in. And right now, from a day trader's perspective, we've got a potentially range building. Now, it's a bit too early to tell, don't get me wrong, but we've got a bit of a range. So we can look for longs at the lows, especially if it comes down and takes out this low and then continues the range. Gives us a market structure break to the upside. Again, I'm not just trying to catch wicks here, but we've got a nice opportunity for a range. And if we get that, great, cool. Day trader's paradise. From a long-term perspective, is that a good swing opportunity? I'd want to see a little bit more strength, being honest. So right now, no structure has been broken back to the upside. Structure is down. Okay, don't get me wrong, the monthly's still pointing up, but other things are pointing down. Okay, so we've got a conflict when it comes to signals. How does structure start turning up? Well, realistically, for me, we need to first and foremost get above this here. Oh. Ideally, to see some real strength, I'd like to see us get above weekly open and back into the macro range low. If we start getting above weekly open and back into the macro range low and holding this zone, then great, cool. We're just back to trading that top macro range. Great. Where's major resistance? Well, we've got major resistance around this monthly open here. We've got major resistance around this EQ and just above this EQ, around 67k mark. If we can start flipping that, then yeah, we'll look for higher prices. Great, cool. Then we can start talking about taking out 70k. But this is where things start looking a bit stronger. Okay? As it stands right now, I'm quite happy to be patient, especially on a high time frame. I'm happy to be patient. I'm not FOMOing into any positions, because right now, 30 minute, still downtrend. Still downtrend. So therefore, I'm not looking to ape. Okay? It's all about capital preservation at this point. I want a high probability setup. If we start to formulate a range within here, and it gives me something to work with, then yeah, cool. I'll get involved. And I might have an opportunity. If it doesn't, then again, I'll be patient. If we start to lose this, and we start to come down lower, then quite simply, once again, zoom out. Where's the next sticky zone going to be? That's the question. Where's the next sticky zone? Well, quite simply, you see, around yearly open, we've got a big volume area around here. Now, what we can also do is we can also look for confluence. Have we got any confluence? So let's do fib from the absolute low up to the absolute high. Well, we've got a golden pocket down here. Could also put on potentially a 0.5. Again, we're talking macro here, high time frame. So we've got the 0.5 around here, around this zone. Now, is this zone great? Not particularly. Okay, we can see that the volume's just below it around yearly open. Okay, but we've got a bit of a zone. So if we do start to lose this and we take out this morning's low, without a swing failure pattern, and we start going down lower, then naturally, this is going to be my next region where I'm interested in. And all we're doing is coming back into this range here, down to this golden pocket down here, which obviously would mean taking out that 38k pivot low, which we know there's going to be a lot of stop losses below that. So effectively, all we're looking for is, where's the next sticky cluster? If we continue to drop. Again, if. I don't know if we're going to drop. Nobody knows if we're going to drop. But if we do drop, where are we likely to drop to? Okay, and we can see here at the top, bottom of today's move, tapped the bottom of that, the top of that range. Okay, so if we come down here and we start getting acceptance back into this, then we're just back to trading this range. And we'll wait for something to form, wait for something constructive, wait for the setup criteria, okay, wait for that change in market structure, and then yeah, cool, I'll get involved. If we get nothing in this zone, then I look for lower prices, and it's pretty obvious where I'm going to be looking for lower prices. You know, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. Okay, all I'm doing is I'm looking, where's the volume? Where were people interested in trading before? Okay, that's what I'm looking for. That's all we have to do as a trader. So, key takeaways from that. Quite simply, do we formulate a range here? And we've got a range to trade locally for a day trader. Great, cool. We'll trade that. Start getting some major strength. Now, major strength for me, once again, would be getting back above that weekly open, getting back into that range. Cool, great. Fairly strong then. Good reaction, good buy up. I don't care about not catching the absolute bottom, just like I don't care about catching an absolute top. That's purely for clout. That's purely for the laps on Twitter to start posting some fake P&L screenshots with a dollar position opened either side. Okay, I don't care. I'm a trader. I want to take high probability trades. So if I'm looking for longs against a very strong downtrend, I want to see local trend start to change. Then yeah, I'll get involved. Just like I said within this zone here, when this first happened, it lost range low. I want to see some strength before looking for longs. Unless I see some strength, I'm not interested. Because it's in no man's land. This area here for me, we're no man's land. Okay, this area here, we are in an old range. Cool. Hold this old range, start to break out to the upside. Great, cool. We look for the old range macro low / weekly open. Start to lose it to the downside without a clear swing failure pattern, and we're just joining this range. That's all we're doing. Playing level to level. Okay. Right. Hopefully that's helped you out. Obviously, I do these videos just purely to help you guys. I don't get paid for these, so if you have watched this long, then do me a favour, hit that like button and leave a comment down below to boost us up into the old algorithm. And yeah, until next time, gang, as you were. Bye-bye.